All right, let's talk about nanotechnology, this incredible field where we build materials atom by atom. It's the stuff of science fiction, right? But what if I told you the future of this high-tech world isn't just being built in sterile labs, but is actually hiding in something as simple as natural as a leaf? Yeah, let's dive into how it works.
Okay, so first things first. For all of its amazing potential, nanotechnology has kind of had this dirty secret, a shadow side that we don't always talk about.
And that problem is pretty straightforward. The traditional ways we make these powerful, incredibly tiny particles can actually be really, really bad for the planet. You gotta think of the old way of doing this as, well, a brute force approach. It relies on a cocktail of harsh, often toxic chemicals. It demands tons of energy, cranking up the heat and pressure. And not only is it super expensive, but it creates all this nasty waste that's a nightmare to dispose of. Worst of all, it can leave toxic junk behind on the very nanoparticles we want to use. Not ideal. But what if there was a better way? A cleaner, more elegant, smarter solution? Well, there is. And this is where our story gets really, really cool. It's called green synthesis, and the idea behind it is just brilliant. Instead of forcing the reaction with harsh industrial chemicals, we're basically handing the whole job over to nature's own tiny factories. We're letting them do the complex work for us, and guess what? They do it cleanly, efficiently, and for free. And let me tell you, nature's toolkit is absolutely massive. We can use extracts from plants, which are just packed with these powerful natural compounds called phytochemicals. Think of them as the plant's secret chemical weapon. We can even put microorganisms like bacteria and fungi to work. Or we can take agricultural waste, stuff we normally throw away, and turn it into a valuable resource. We're tapping into a biological assembly line that's been perfected over millions of years. So that's the big idea. But let's bring this down to earth with a real-world example. And for that, we're going to look at a surprisingly powerful tool that you might even have in your backyard, the humble papaya leaf. Just look at this. This one image tells the whole story. On the left, you've got simple, dried papaya leaf powder, nothing fancy. And on the right, in that little vial, are cutting-edge copper oxide nanoparticles. It's an absolutely incredible journey from the garden to the lab. So how on earth do they do it? Believe it or not, the process is way more straightforward than you might think. First, you basically make a tea, an extract, from the papaya leaves to pull out all those good chemicals. Then you just mix that leaf tea with a simple copper salt solution. And that's when the magic happens. The natural chemicals in the leaf, that toolkit we talked about, they just get to work building the copper oxide nanoparticles right there in the beaker. The final step is just separating them out and drying them. It's an elegant one-pot recipe. And here it is. This is the payoff. On the left, a regular old